And on top of that, I knew that they were going to have to split because there was a petition or motion filed that my BD not be around his kids. And they needed certain information from me to make sure that he was not able to be around Apryl's children. And initially I had told them, no, I'm not a rat. I'm not, like, I don't like the nigga, but at the end of the day, like, I don't want to be dragged into this, especially to protect somebody else's kids. And when he gets upset and he gets mad, what's going to happen to me and my son? Like, what does that mean for friend? But you want to leave me and my son just to fend for ourselves. And I was gearing up to go to court. So I made my own little deal with the other side. And at that point, I thought to myself, like, if the roles were reversed, would he do the same for me? If the roles were reversed and, like, would he just mind his business and, no, I'm not throwing my BM under the bus? No, he wouldn't. He absolutely would not. So I said, fuck it. And so when we got to the reunion, I was like, yeah, all right. And then when it was very interesting because when I saw Omari's interview on, is that everybody assumes that nothing is being done. I already knew what was being done. I already knew about the motion. I already knew that the judge had ruled in O's favor and Drew was not to be around his children. I already knew all of that. So, at the end of the day, I don't know anything outside of what involved me and my son. Outside of that, and making sure that if I gave up the I went back to minding my business. But that whole scenario was very interesting because they had been on each other since 2017. I had never said a word, and I knew. And we have so many mutual friends, and I would skip certain events because people would hit me and be like, oh, they're here. And it was really weird. He was holding her bags. He bought her Louis Vuitton for her birthday. They've been vacationing. I'm like, and I care because he likes to call me a stalker or obsessed or crazy. I didn't want, and I knew the season was starting, I didn't want to put myself in a position to where me going somewhere that I'm invited to is going to be turned into I popped up to wreak havoc in his life, to show up to these events, show up to these birthday dinners, and knowing I had the right to be there, and then for us to start the season and for them to say, oh, you were popping up because you're jealous. So I just minded my business and stayed home. And if I were bothered by it when I found out about it in 2017, I would have said something publicly then. Not only did I not say anything publicly, I didn't say anything. And I never told her why I distanced myself. But I mean, she's not stupid, so... I mean, she makes up weird words sometimes, like disnormal or like that. But anyway, she's not dumb. So, you know, she knew why, you know. And so at the end of the day, I had no issue with them being together initially because she was never disrespectful towards me. It wasn't until she became disrespectful that I was like, okay, here we go again. And literally, she flipped like a whole sociopath. One day we're coordinating for Cam and we're like, let's get together, let's do lunch, have wine. Then 2 weeks later, I show up to the skating rink. Paris asked Apryl, you're not going to talk to Moniece about the situation? And no, I don't have to. And I'm like, okay. So you dog me out, you ignore me, and then you follow me outside, fake concern, like I just came out here to check on you. Check on me for what? That was weird as Like, now that you're admitting that you're in a relationship, is that grounds for you to be rude or disrespectful? Because I haven't done anything since we said truce to disrespect you. We've been working together on, you're saying you came to check on me. That was when I was done. So it wasn't until that scene that when I was driving home, because I drove myself, because I had a feeling they were going to ambush me, but I drove myself because I was like, nah, when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. I don't want to be waiting on a production van or a car. I just want to go. And so is when I went live and was like, congratulations to Teeny Fizzle Pop and Apryl Jones on there. I did that because you went from, oh, we're not going to be, disrespectful, to truce, let's have lunch, let's get together, to disrespecting me. So it was like, okay, well, I already knew this whole time, and I've never alleged, I've never asked, I've never demanded anything. That's your vagina, that's your business, whatever. And that's his penis, that's his business. He's always made it seem like I've pried into his personal relationships, and that's just never been the case. Chicago with, I didn't ask him where he was going. I literally said, did I ask you where you were going? After you told me you were taking the boy to the snow, did I ask you where you were going? He said no. I said, did I ask you who you guys were going with? He said no. I'm like, so why are we making it seem like I knew and that it's about who you went with and where you went? That was never the issue. The issue was of my son. And all I knew was my son was going to the snow. And I knew he was leaving on this date, December 23rd, and he's due back this date. And I never got a departure time. I never got an arrival time. I never got a call to say, hey, mommy, I'm safe, or yo, we made it and we're good. Here's Cam. And he's short-tempered with me because I'm like, oh my God, where are you? Like, did you see the snow yet? And he's like, there's no snow. I'm like, what? But you guys were going to the snow. And he was like, yeah, there's no snow. When I got off the plane, I'm like, the plane? So I'm like, well, where'd you go? Colorado? Because you could drive to Big Bear, you could drive to Mammoth, right? You got to fly to Colorado. So I'm like, no, Chicago. And I'm like, oh, okay. Right then and there, I knew they were in Chicago and who they were in Chicago with, and I just diffused the situation. I diffused the situation by telling him, oh, dope. So you have Mega and Ame to play with. That's super cool. And at that point, he was like, okay, she's not mad, And so for me, it's not about where you went, who you went with, how you got there, right? It's literally just ask you, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I think it's unfortunate that women have been run in and out of my son's life? Absolutely. Do I give his dad a hard time about it? Absolutely not. I don't say anything about it. Do I feel like that's something that I want my son to see? No. But again, I don't run that household. I run this one. And so if I want to counter that, all I can do is do the best I can over here. And when Cam is over here, because he literally said I was going to lose my mom. And I was like, no. He's like, it's always just me and you. And I just didn't want to share. So he's used to, even if I'm stressed, tenant, whatever, I don't address it too much or too little on social media. Actually, sis, you have to understand we are on a television show where the narrative is completely changed to something that it is not, and it always asks me questions, and for a very long time I wouldn't answer them. But I get to a point where now niggas want to know, are we getting along? Yeah, we're getting along, and it's not a secret that we only get along when he's single. And at the end of the day, So nobody can say me speaking my truth and me saying how it really is for a storyline, for a check, for a none of that. I finished my contractual obligations. I will not be returning to Love and Hip Hop unless I go bankrupt. I was not fired. I left on my own recognizance and own accord. I'm hoping that plays a role in as to why he's being so easygoing these days. And I hope that it lasts. And I hope that, because it was going to take one of us me down. What has my storyline been since season 1? Defending my position as a mother. And from seasons 1 to 3, I actually let the cast get away with dragging me because I'm not irrational like they try to make me seem. I knew that none of the cast would have anything to say about me as a mother if the father of my child had. I got zero respect as an artist. I was that when I met him. As a teenager, I was that before the show. I was that. My father is a 10-time Grammy Award winner. I grew up in the business. None of that was told to you guys. Y'all think I'm just some bitter baby mama who decided. So at the end of the day, you know, I have every right to defend my position as a woman, as a mother, and it's not until I tell the truth that people start to readjust their narratives, meaning it's not until I come on here. When I was on the show, I would have to come on here and I would have to rip VH1 and Moniece and adjust the narrative to be semi-correct, right? And so now I don't have to worry about any of that. I get to say what I want to say without my checks being threatened, without my job being threatened, without me being blackballed. Like, I'm free, I'm clear. I did it the way I was supposed to do it. I did all 7 seasons. That was what was asked of me. Atlanta season 8 counted as 6 out of my 7. Hollywood season 6 counted. If I'm not on the show for him to fuck me over every season with a new, then we don't have that issue, right? So I made the sacrifice. I said I'll walk away from the 6-figure salary for the sake of, you know, my sanity was at risk, not because at the end of the day my mental health was suffering, because I just couldn't understand why. Like, what is it that you hate about me so much that you just, during the 2-month break, the minute a pickup notice comes out, you're back on your at my expense, though. And I just don't get it. I never took you to court. I have felt about you. I've never kept your son from you. Even when you put your hands on me in front of him at a basketball game, even when you got in my face knowing that I was by myself at his basketball game, the boy was 2.5, taunting me, talking about if this nigga put his hands on me in front of everybody at a basketball game, and my bio dad called him and said, yo, niggas disappear every day. And nobody gives. The nigga was on the run. Ever you went to marriage boot camp whilst being on the run. I kept your secret until here we are again in season 6, and boom, I was done protecting him. Period. I was just, whatever Omari's legal team needed, they got it. Whatever production needed from me, they got it. Whatever Jason Lee wanted to know, he got it. Like, I just was like, because there's no protection for me. None. No consideration, not even for my emotional well-being.
So what is this motion that Omarion had put forth to allegedly keep Lil Fizz away from his children? Media Takeout posted this article January 16th of 2020, and I missed it. It was titled, Omarion Goes to Court, Apryl Must Keep Lil Fizz Away from Kids. R&B singer Omarion's beef with his former friend / bandmate Lil Fizz is ratcheting up. According to Love and Hip Hop star Moniece, Omarion has banned Fizz from being around his 2 children. Omarion and Apryl Jones have 2 children together, Ame Kazuko and Mega. That's with 2 A's. and the two are having a custody battle over the children. Omarion and Apryl separated 2 years ago, and afterward, Apryl started dating Omarion's former friend and B2K bandmate Lil Fizz. Moniece, who also has a child with Lil Fizz, is spilling the tea on their relationship. Moniece told a blog, pause, which blog are they referring to? Let me know in the comments. Moniece told a blog, quote, Apryl is in and out of court with Omari, Moniece continued, and one of his stipulations is that Drew, which is Lil Fizz's real name, can't be around his kids. News broke 2 weeks ago that Fizz and Apryl split up, but Moniece suspects that the alleged split was all fake and done so that Apryl could regain custody of her children. According to Moniece, Apryl and Fizz are still together, and Apryl is allowing Fizz near her children, purportedly in violation of the court order. She told the blog that Apryl and Fizz unfollowed each other to get the public off their behinds, but they're still going strong. Moniece's son Cam FaceTimed him from bed 2 Mondays ago, and she was in the background. He made sure to put her in the frame, end quote. And she added more, quote, Fizz threw a party. It wasn't at his house. Apryl and her children were in attendance, along with, quote, my abusive, sociopathic biological father. And then she said his name, but I'm not going to repeat that part. But anyways, remember, all of this is alleged. All of this is alleged. And none of it came out of my mouth. But let me just say this part, okay? Number one, the video at the beginning came from, I think it was Wednesday, May 27th of 2020. Moniece's Instagram live. I was there, and I decided to record the chat and everything. And I'm just posting this video now because I'm trying to catch up with some stuff that I had wanted to talk about. Moniece has been through so much. I really never liked the way that Drew treated her. Excuse me, Lil Fizz. I'm calling him Drew like I know him. Lil Fizz from B2K, her baby daddy. I never really liked the way that he treated her. I thought that he was just very, how do I word this? He does too much. I'll just put it like that. I feel like he disrespects her because he can. And I just wish that he treated her better. But anyways, shout out to Moniece. We love you. You're amazing. You're doing an amazing job as a mother. I know that Lil Fizz has said some negative things about you, but we see what you're doing out here, Mo. We know Lil Fizz ain't about nothing. And yes, I'm taking sides. Y'all know I love Mo. Y'all know I'll take Moniece's side. If me and Moniece had beef, I would take her side. Stop playing. Anyway, shout out to my baby Mo. And let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section. The secret password to say in the comment section to let me know that you listen all the way until the end is Babysitter Fizz. Or Babysitter Lil Fizz. The reason why I say that is because who is Apryl gonna have to babysit the kids now? Who else is gonna, make them Cheerios in the morning and bust out the vacuum? He was a maid and a babysitter allegedly for Apryl, and I heard he was pretty good at it, allegedly. So what in the world is she gonna do now? So Babysitter Lil Fizz, because I heard that she used to go to the club and leave him there with the kids, basically being Mr. Mom. Is that crazy or what? That had to have been awkward as hell. And I know Omarion was like, you know what, you mother blinkers. I know he used to be like, you know what, I need to nip this in the bud. But anyway, yeah, they allegedly went to court and everything. Is that crazy or what? Did y'all know about this? How come you didn't tell me so I could have done a video about it? Or did I and I just forgot? Anyways, Babysitter Lil Fizz. I gotta go, y'all. MAGA. Click the subscribe button right now for more Meat Magazine. Click the notification bell. All notifications. Click the thumbs up button on this video. Post a comment below the video in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe to all the Meat Magazine channels for more videos. The links to my other channels are in the description box.